Chapter 1. A Fateful Encounter. The neon lights of Las Vegas danced across the night sky like a mesmerizing painting, but Amelia Hart only felt an odd emptiness. Clad in an elegant black dress, she sat quietly at the bar of the Bellagio Hotel, where the opulence seemed to consume all sorrows. Before her was a Manhattan cocktail, its vibrant red color evoking memories that now felt like searing pain. Just days ago, Amelia's life had been perfect, like a dream come true. As an up-and-coming fashion designer in Paris, she had built her name through critically acclaimed collections. She had a fiancé, Charles Beaumont, whom she believed was her destined partner, and a best friend, Sophia Duval, who had shared every joy and sorrow. But in one fateful morning, everything shattered. She discovered that Charles and Sophia had betrayed her. The news of their impending wedding was not just a shock, it destroyed every dream she had nurtured. Amelia chose to leave Paris immediately, with nothing but a small suitcase and a heavy heart. She needed a place to escape, where no one knew her or her painful past. Las Vegas seemed like a beckoning call, the city of impulsive decisions, glittering streets, and opportunities for a fresh start. In the warm ambiance of the bar, Amelia's eyes roamed the room, landing on a shadowed corner. There sat a man, solitary yet exuding a strange, magnetic strength. He was swirling a glass of whiskey in his hand, his sharp gaze seemingly piercing through every secret in the room. Henry Blackwood, a renowned British businessman, had come to Las Vegas to escape familial pressure. As the heir to a financial empire, Henry was being forced by his family to marry Eleanor Cavendish, another wealthy heir. The marriage promised enormous benefits for both families, but for Henry it was nothing more than a cold transaction devoid of love. He had come here to flee, but Amelia's gaze had captured his attention. Henry approached her, his steps measured yet confident. Standing beside her, he set his whiskey on the bar and spoke in a deep, calm voice. "You seem like someone who's searching for something, or perhaps running from something?" Amelia looked up, surprised by the stranger's directness. Her eyes met his, a gaze filled with mystery, yet unusually gentle. "And you," she replied, masking her vulnerability. "What are you looking for here?" Henry gave a faint smile, taking a sip of his whiskey. "I'm not looking for anything, just avoiding things I'd rather not face." His answer struck a chord within her. There was an odd sense of understanding between them. They began to talk, and bit by bit, the walls around their hearts started to come down. Henry spoke about the suffocating expectations of his family, about feeling trapped in a life he couldn't control. Amelia shared her pain of betrayal, the heartbreak of realizing everything she believed in was a lie. As time passed, their laughter drowned out the background noise of the bar. There was something in the air of Las Vegas, in the glow of the lights, that made everything feel lighter. Amelia raised her cocktail glass, her eyes sparkling. "You know, if we really want to forget everything, why not do something crazy?" Henry raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What do you have in mind?" Amelia chuckled, half joking, half serious. "We could get married right now. It's Las Vegas after all." She expected him to laugh or brush it off. Instead, Henry set his whiskey down, his gaze turning serious. "All right, let's do it." Amelia froze in disbelief. "You're serious?" Henry nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. "I don't see why not. We're both looking for a fresh start, aren't we?" Without hesitation, they left the bar, joining the bustling crowd under the glittering lights of Las Vegas. Outside a small chapel with neon signs blinking, "Marry me tonight," they walked in like dreamers. Standing before Henry, Amelia's heart raced as the faux Elvis priest asked, "Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?" She looked at Henry, his gaze filled with determination, but also a surprising tenderness. She smiled, feeling for the first time in days that she could let go of the pain. "I do." Henry took her hand, his voice steady as he replied, "I do too." As they stepped out of the chapel, bathed in the dazzling glow of Las Vegas, they stood still for a moment, absorbing the surreal moment. Amelia turned to Henry and whispered, "What did we just do?" Henry smiled, his eyes glinting with the familiar mystery. "Perhaps the most reckless decision, or the most right one." They walked hand in hand into the night, unaware that what had just happened was not just a whim, but the beginning of a journey that would change their lives forever. Welcome to today's story. Let us know in the comments which city you're listening from. You might find someone from the same place tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Chapter 2. Unveiling Secrets. Morning sunlight filtered through the curtains, casting a warm glow across the expansive bed dressed in pristine white linens. Amelia woke with a disorienting feeling. Sitting up, her eyes wandered over the luxurious hotel room. A glittering crystal chandelier hung from the ceiling, expensive art pieces adorned the walls, and the faint fragrance of lilies from a vase near the window added to the room's opulence. But what puzzled her most was the fact that she had no memory of booking such a room. As she tried to piece together the previous night, her gaze landed on Henry. He stood near the window, speaking into his phone with a composed air, his figure commanding in a dark suit. His deep voice carried a tone of confidence and authority, with a hint of cold detachment. Amelia pulled the blanket closer, trying to steady herself amidst this strange setting. When Henry ended his call, he turned and met her confused gaze. Smiling softly, he approached the bed, his demeanor far gentler than the composed presence he'd shown a moment ago. "Good morning," Henry greeted, setting his phone down on the nearby table. "I didn't want to wake you. I hope you slept well." "Henry?" Amelia hesitated, unease rising within her. "Where are we? And what's going on?" Henry sat on the edge of the bed, loosening his tie and unbuttoning the top of his shirt. His eyes held a mix of sincerity and apprehension. "I think it's time you knew the truth," he said. Amelia frowned, her pulse quickening. "What truth?" Henry took a deep breath before speaking. "I'm not just an ordinary businessman, Amelia. I'm Henry Blackwood, heir to Blackwood Global, a financial empire spanning Europe and North America. My family controls an empire, and with that comes immense pressure." Amelia froze, her mind reeling. The name Blackwood wasn't unfamiliar. It was often mentioned in global media, associated with multi-billion-dollar deals and enormous influence in the financial world. But never in her wildest thoughts did she imagine that the man she had impulsively married was at the helm of it all. "Why didn't you tell me this from the start?" she asked, her voice tinged with disbelief. Henry gave her a small, rueful smile. "Because I wanted you to see me for who I am, not for my name or the fortune behind it. I didn't want those barriers between us, but after last night, I realized I couldn't keep it from you any longer." Amelia studied him, unsure whether to trust him. "And what about the marriage? Was that part of some plan of yours?" Henry shook his head, his expression serious. "I didn't plan for any of this. But when you joked about getting married, I realized it might be my only chance to escape my family's expectations. They want me to marry Elena Cavendish, a transactional union with no love involved. But with you, I felt something different, a freedom I've never known before." Amelia's chest tightened. There was something about Henry's words, his honesty, the pain hidden beneath, that she couldn't ignore. Yet the thought of stepping into his opulent and pressure-filled world unnerved her. "Henry, I don't belong in your world," she said quietly but firmly. "I'm just a fashion designer trying to make a name for myself. I don't know how to navigate any of this." Henry took her hand gently, his touch warm and steady. "I'm not sure either, but I do know that I want you here, with me. We're both running from things that have hurt us. Maybe somehow we can find something meaningful together." Amelia remained silent, feeling the warmth of his hand. Despite the overwhelming truth about Henry, she sensed a strange safety in his presence, as though he could be not just a refuge, but someone who could help her rediscover herself. "All right," she finally said, her voice soft. "We can try, but on one condition." "What condition?" Henry asked, the corner of his mouth lifting slightly in a faint smile. "No secrets. If we're going to try to build something from this strange marriage, we have to be honest with each other." Henry nodded, his smile turning genuine. "Honesty, I promise." In that moment, an unspoken bond formed between them. Though neither knew what lay ahead, they resolved to face it together, not only the ghosts of their past, but also the uncertainties of their shared future. Amelia leaned back against the pillows, watching as Henry called room service for breakfast. A fleeting thought crossed her mind. Her life had irreversibly changed the moment she stepped into the Bellagio bar last night. Now the only way forward was to keep moving ahead. Chapter 3. Facing Challenges. Returning to New York, Amelia found herself stepping into a world entirely foreign to her, a realm of excess and grandeur at every turn. Sleek limousines lined the streets, skyscrapers loomed with an aura of authority, and opulent parties brought together some of the most powerful figures in the financial world. This wasn't just Henry's home, it was an arena where unseen forces constantly vied for dominance. And now Amelia was at the center of everyone's attention. From the moment she stepped into the Blackwood estate, a stately mansion nestled in the Upper East Side, Amelia felt the icy atmosphere. Eleanor Blackwood, Henry's mother, greeted her with a smile that was anything but warm. Dressed impeccably in a tailored Chanel dress, Eleanor radiated elegance and control. "Welcome to the Blackwood family, Amelia," Eleanor said, her tone tinged with faint mockery. "I trust you're ready to adapt to this life." Amelia returned the smile politely, though inside she felt scrutinized from head to toe. Throughout the family dinner that evening, Eleanor continued to probe, her sharp questions carrying an air of interrogation. "Where did you and Henry meet?" Eleanor asked, her gaze boring into Amelia. "Las Vegas," Amelia replied calmly, willing her voice to remain steady. "A chance meeting that led to a bold decision." "Bold decisions can be dangerous," Eleanor remarked, her tone cutting, "especially when one doesn't understand the consequences." Henry cut in before Amelia could respond, his protective gaze unwavering. "Mother, Amelia doesn't need to explain anything. Our marriage was a mutual decision." Though Henry consistently stood by her side, Amelia knew it would take more than his support to earn the respect of his formidable family. While Amelia struggled to adjust to her new life, her past relentlessly pursued her. News of her sudden marriage had quickly reached Paris, and Charles and Sophia, the pair who had betrayed her, were determined to meddle in her fresh start. Her phone buzzed incessantly with calls and messages from them. Charles, once sweet and deceitful, now sent desperate messages. "Amelia, I made a mistake. Please give me a chance to make things right." Sophia, her voice dripping with faux remorse, left voicemails. "Amelia, I'm so sorry for everything, but you can't just disappear without talking to me. We've been friends for years." Amelia ignored every call, yet each missed call and text added to the weight pressing down on her. It felt as though her past and present were colliding, leaving her caught in the suffocating middle. The media only intensified the pressure. Sensational headlines plastered across tabloids and websites speculated about her motives. Amelia Hart, Cinderella or gold digger? Heir to the Blackwood fortune, love or strategy? Every event she attended with Henry became a battlefield of flashing cameras and veiled questions from reporters. "Amelia, how does it feel to go from an unknown designer to a member of the Blackwood family? Do you have a response to accusations that you're taking advantage of Henry?" Amelia held her composure and smiled through it all, but inside she felt as though she were balancing on a tightrope, constantly at risk of falling. Through it all, Henry remained steadfast. He saw the strain in her eyes no matter how much she tried to hide it. One evening, after returning from an event, Henry entered their room with 2 cups of tea in hand. "You don't owe them any explanations," he said, sitting beside her. "They don't know who you are, and they have no right to judge you." Amelia looked at him, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. "I'm scared, Henry. I'm scared I'm not strong enough to handle all of this." Henry took her hands, his grip firm yet reassuring. "You're stronger than you think. You left behind a painful past and started a new life. Don't let them make you doubt yourself." His words felt like a balm, easing the turmoil in her heart. Yet Amelia knew that surviving in this world required more than emotional support. She needed to prove to herself and to everyone else that she wasn't weak or dependent. Alone in their hotel suite, under the soft glow of the lights, Amelia gazed at her reflection in the mirror. She thought about her dreams as a young girl in Paris, to be a fashion designer who created works that touched people's hearts. She realized she couldn't let whispers, Eleanor's judgment, or the specter of Charles and Sophia overshadow her ambitions. Taking a deep breath, her eyes lit with renewed determination. "If this world wants to challenge me, I'll prove them wrong." Stepping out of the room, she began her journey, not only to earn the world's recognition, but also to rediscover the strong, capable woman she knew she could be. Chapter 4. Building Trust. Amelia no longer wanted to bear the label of temporary wife or gold digger. She resolved to prove that she deserved her place, not only within the Blackwood family, but also in the fiercely competitive world of fashion. The passion for design that she once thought she had lost now became her guiding light, helping her rise and fight for herself. Amelia spent weeks meticulously planning a fashion show with a charitable purpose. With financial support from Henry, she began to turn her vision into reality. The venue was carefully chosen, a chic art space in the heart of Manhattan that perfectly reflected the blend of classic and modern themes she wanted to convey. Throwing herself into work, Amelia personally designed every outfit, selecting every detail to ensure that the show was not just a fashion event, but also a meaningful statement. Her collection drew inspiration from resilience and hope, featuring bright colors and refined tailoring that symbolized renewal. Though Henry was swamped with responsibilities at Blackwood Global, he made time to support her. He not only provided financial backing, but also helped promote the event. His introductions allowed Amelia to connect with major sponsors and renowned celebrities, elevating the show to an unmissable occasion. However, not everyone was supportive. Eleanor Blackwood remained skeptical. She viewed Amelia's efforts as a calculated move for attention. "Charity is a clever way to improve one's image," Eleanor remarked to Henry during a family dinner. "But is she doing this out of genuine goodwill or just to impress others?" Henry's voice was steady but firm as he responded, "You don't know Amelia, Mother. She doesn't need to prove herself to anyone, least of all to those who can't see the sincerity of her actions." For the first time, Henry realized he felt more than sympathy for Amelia. He was proud of her. Her relentless efforts to reclaim her identity made him admire her even more. Amidst their busy schedules, Amelia and Henry began sharing moments of heartfelt connection. Late-night conversations in their luxurious penthouse became a bridge between two guarded souls. Henry, who had long hidden his emotions behind a composed exterior, opened up about the immense pressure he faced. As the sole heir to Blackwood Global, he was expected to be flawless in the eyes of both his family and society. "I always have to make the right decisions," he admitted, staring thoughtfully out the window. "I can't afford to make mistakes. But with you, I feel like I can falter. I can be vulnerable, and it doesn't make me any less in your eyes." Amelia, too, shared her past pain. She spoke of the betrayal by Charles and Sophia, the loneliness and aimlessness she felt when she had to leave Paris, the city she once called home. "I never thought I'd trust anyone again," she confessed, her voice trembling. "But you're different. You make me feel like I deserve to be loved." The day of the fashion show finally arrived. The venue was adorned with soft lighting and elegant arrangements, with rows of seats perfectly arranged to welcome hundreds of esteemed guests. When the models began showcasing Amelia's collection on the runway, the audience was captivated. Each piece told a story, not just of fashion, but of resilience and hope. Amelia's closing speech moved many to tears. "This show isn't just about a dream of fashion. It's a reminder that from pain, we can create beauty, and that anyone, no matter where they come from, can transform their life." Standing at the back of the room, Henry watched her with pride. He couldn't take his eyes off Amelia, the woman who had refused to crumble under hardship and had proven her worth through her talent and heart. After the show, as they returned home, exhausted but exhilarated, Amelia sank into the sofa, her hands trembling with emotion. "I did it," she whispered, a radiant smile spreading across her face. "I really did it." Henry sat beside her, taking her hands in his. "You didn't just do it. You made the world take notice. I'm so proud of you, Amelia." As their eyes met, both of them felt a deeper realization. What had started as an impulsive marriage to escape their respective burdens had grown into something meaningful. They didn't need flowery words or grand promises. In that serene moment, their presence alone spoke volumes. They understood that between them, a genuine love was beginning to blossom. Are you still following Olivia's incredible journey? Share your thoughts and emotions about her story in the comments below. We'd love to hear what moment resonated with you the most. Chapter 5. Turmoil from the Past. Amelia entered the grand Upper East Side mansion, hand in hand with Henry, the opulence of the high society gala sparkling around her. Chandeliers cast their golden glow over the room, violins played a soft melody, and laughter rippled among the elegantly dressed guests. Though Amelia had grown accustomed to events like these, tonight brought an inexplicable sense of unease. She couldn't have known that this fateful evening would confront her with shadows of her past. As she and Henry mingled with a group of influential attendees, a voice she hadn't heard in months suddenly cut through the air. "Amelia, is that really you?" She turned, her heart momentarily stopping. Standing before her were Charles and Sophia, the two people who had caused her so much pain. Charles, still as polished and self-assured as ever, met her gaze with a faint smirk. Beside him, Sophia stood in an extravagant gown, her smile brimming with calculated confidence. "Well, this is a surprise," Charles said, his tone smooth yet tinged with arrogance. "I hear you've gotten married. Quite a whirlwind decision, wasn't it?" Amelia maintained her composure, her polite smile unwavering. "Charles, Sophia, what an unexpected encounter. I didn't realize you were in New York." Sophia tilted her head, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "We've been curious about your new life. It's fascinating to see you've transitioned from Parisian elegance to a marriage full of surprises." Her words dripped with sarcasm, but before Amelia could respond, Henry stepped forward, his calm yet commanding presence silencing the air around them. "My wife doesn't owe anyone an explanation about her life," he said, his voice steady but laced with authority, "especially not to those who betrayed her." Charles faltered for a moment, clearly unsettled by Henry's directness, but quickly masked it with a cool expression. "We were just saying hello. After all, we're old friends." Henry's lips curved into a faint, dismissive smile. "I think Amelia has been more than polite. She doesn't need to waste any more time on the past." As Charles and Sophia reluctantly walked away, Amelia felt her hands trembling slightly. Henry reached for her hand, his expression softening with concern. "Are you all right?" he asked gently. She nodded, though her voice wavered. "I didn't expect to see them again, but thank you for standing up for me." Henry placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, his gaze firm yet tender. "Amelia, you don't have to face them alone. I'll always be here to protect you." His words felt like a shield, wrapping her in a sense of safety she hadn't known in a long time. For the first time, she truly felt cared for and supported. From across the room, Eleanor Blackwood observed the interaction with a mixture of surprise and intrigue. She had always seen Henry as an independent man who rarely displayed his emotions. Yet tonight, in front of everyone, he had openly defended Amelia. Later that evening, Eleanor invited Amelia into her study. Entering with a hint of apprehension, Amelia braced herself for whatever awaited. "Sit down, Amelia," Eleanor said, her tone more composed than usual. "I've been watching you since you entered Henry's life. I admit I had my doubts about you, but after tonight, I see that you genuinely bring him happiness." Amelia was taken aback by the unexpected acknowledgement, but remained gracious. "Thank you, Mrs. Blackwood. All I want is to do what's best for Henry and the family." Eleanor's lips curved into a rare, sincere smile. "Then continue to do so. Henry needs someone like you, and now I believe you're capable of that." That night, as they returned home, Amelia rested her head against Henry's shoulder, feeling a weight lift from her chest. "You shut them down completely," she said, a faint smile playing on her lips. "I always will," Henry replied, his eyes filled with unwavering affection. "No one has the right to hurt you. They may try to come between us, but you and I, we're stronger than that." Looking into his eyes, Amelia saw nothing but sincerity. In that moment, she knew their love had weathered its first true test. And though the past might try to resurface again, with Henry by her side, she felt certain that nothing could shake the bond they were building together. Chapter 6. True Love. Henry had spent months meticulously planning their official wedding, a grand ceremony at the Blackwood family castle in Scotland, where he had grown up. Nestled amidst rolling green hills and crystal-clear lochs, the castle stood as a testament to the family's heritage. and a perfect venue to cement Amelia's place as an integral part of their lives. The wedding day dawned with the soft warmth of a spring sun. The castle was adorned with white roses and pastel blue accents, symbolizing renewal and hope. Friends, family, and a handful of distinguished guests gathered, dressed impeccably in elegant attire. Every gaze turned toward Amelia as she emerged, wearing a wedding gown of her own design. The dress, a stunning blend of classic and contemporary styles, showcased her creativity and individuality. Standing at the end of the aisle, Henry couldn't take his eyes off her. As she drew closer, his heartbeat quickened, his love for her radiating through his every expression. Amelia held her bouquet tightly, her emotions swirling as she approached him. "You're more beautiful than I ever imagined," Henry whispered as she took her place beside him. The ceremony unfolded under the golden hues of the setting sun, each word spoken heavy with meaning. "Amelia," Henry began, his voice steady but filled with emotion, "you came into my life when I least expected it, yet exactly when I needed you the most. I promise to protect, cherish, and stand by you, no matter where life takes us." Tears glistened in Amelia's eyes as she responded, "Henry, you've shown me that true love isn't about perfection, but about sincerity and patience. I vow to face every challenge with you and to be your rock, just as you've been mine." They exchanged rings, symbols of an unending bond, and as the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, Henry leaned down to kiss Amelia. The sweetness of that moment drew cheers and applause from the guests. The reception was held in the castle's sprawling garden, illuminated by twinkling fairy lights hanging from ancient trees. Amelia and Henry shared their first dance, swaying to the soft strains of a piano, their gazes locked in an unspoken promise. Guests celebrated joyfully, but what moved Amelia most was Eleanor Blackwood's unexpected gesture. In a quiet moment, Eleanor approached her, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "I once doubted you," she admitted, her voice softer than Amelia had ever heard. "But now I see why Henry chose you. You've brought happiness not only to him, but to this family. I'm proud to call you my daughter-in-law." Amelia's smile trembled with emotion as she embraced Eleanor. No compliment could mean more than those heartfelt words. A year later, Amelia and Henry welcomed a beautiful baby girl, naming her Lily Eleanor Blackwood, a tribute to Amelia's vibrancy and the Blackwood legacy. Holding his daughter in his arms, Henry's eyes gleamed with joy and pride. Amelia flourished in her career, becoming a global icon in the fashion world. Her collection, aptly named Rebirth, drew from her own journey and captivated audiences worldwide. Each piece told a story of overcoming pain, discovering love, and rising anew from the ashes of despair. Together, Henry and Amelia built a life filled with laughter, love, and meaning. Though challenges arose, they faced them hand in hand, learning and growing alongside each other. For them, happiness wasn't found in wealth or status, but in the simple act of prioritizing one another above all else. Sometimes the most impulsive decisions in unforeseen moments lead to doors we never imagined opening. For Amelia and Henry, true love wasn't about flawlessness, but about an ever-evolving journey of learning, sharing, and loving. And in that journey, they found something far more valuable than anything else: everlasting happiness. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Let us know your thoughts on this story in the comments below. What type of stories would you like to hear next? Don't forget to like, share this story, and subscribe to our channel for more.